next question, the NDP will start, and it's a rather long question. It is, the Ontario and Canadian agricultural sector is a major economic engine, providing jobs across our rural and urban communities. They offer stability to our rural communities and represent an integral part of the social fabric. Canadian farms provide a healthy and safe food supply and also contribute to the environmental health through the protection of soil, water, and air. Our farm businesses provide food and agricultural products to domestic and export markets in competition with global marketers. Playing field is not level, however, as Canadian farmers and food processors face regulations that can impose a high standard on our outputs not equally apply to imported products. The question is, will you work to ensure that Canadian food producers and processors are not disadvantaged and consumers jeopardized by suffering imported food products that may not meet Canada's high standards for safety and quality? The NDP.
Absolutely, and that's a great question. We would work to ensure that all the imports meet the same rigid standards that our own farmers impose on their own craft. That's a disadvantage that we have here. We've also got the disadvantage that so many products that are coming into Canada are subsidized. And it's in the day and age where we do need to ensure that we're looking at subsidies. You know, not necessarily just a check to the farmer per se, because we know, you know, the value of getting paid for your work, not just handed a check, but making sure that subsidies are in place and the strengthening of our local marketplace, again, by ensuring that hospitals and jails and schools and all of that are strengthening our marketplace by procuring local produce. But certainly, we will impose rigid standards on the imports coming in and make sure that our prices that we're paying the farmers are competitive.
Thank you. The Conservatives?
Yes, certainly the Conservative government is very supportive of having an even playing field for our agricultural community. And it's not only in the foods that are imported, although that is extremely important, but it's also in the inputs that you have to import to produce your crops. And one of the things that we have said that we will do is provide easier access to best fertilizers, pesticides, and veterinary drugs, because that is a huge cost, on level cost that you face here. And we see it particularly because we're a border community. So we have said that we'll make regulatory reforms to provide easier access to fertilizers, drugs, and so on, and that we will accept equivalent scientific research when we are evaluating and approving new processes and things that can be used here in this country. So we will be leveling the playing field to make it easier and more productive for Canadian farmers.
Thank you. The Liberals?
You know, it amazes me that this question comes up year after year, that we have food and products that are imported into this country below the standards that we, as producers, produce right here in our own backyard. We, as Canadian producers and primary producers, accept the regulatory bodies and believe in the safety and the purpose of those regulatory bodies. But it's always been a challenge for these Canadian-made expenses when we are price takers from an open market. So it is absolutely essential that if we are going to have trading partners, we trade on even grounds. And one of those even grounds is that nothing should come into this country below the standards we expect and accept as producers and as Canadians. Canadians want and expect that the federal government is inspecting every product that comes in here to clear and set standards for the safety of the Canadian people. And we must get this done. It cannot be another study. It cannot be another topic at another election. It's far too long and it's far too important.
Thank you. The Green Party?
Yes.
Thank you. Well,
No,